good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of your favorite show on a Thursday night. It's all about cop talk. So, we're going to say good evening to Mr. Stoney. How are we doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just lots of mist outside my house, so the fireworks and Halloween and all of them funny business happening outside the house. But I'm all
On
good,
them
man.
pagan events, bro. Trust me. Trust me. I told my kids already about can they do this trick. Go and beg on whose door. That's begging. I said, no. You know, nobody's door begging for sweets. Say, sweets, I'll buy you sweets. And in them time, you can't be knocking on these strange people door. You might not come back later.
True.
Not in it. Nah, bun that. Not in it, mate. Let's say good evening, Dr. Van Nistelrooy Blake.
Yes, blessings, Jed. Blessings. Yeah, man. We come like carnival around there still. Roll around.
Yeah, this is right there. And you remember, it's Diwali as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be fair, it's not even really. I guess it's fireworks for the Diwali thing.
Yeah.
But like the roads are busy, like bare youths on the street with their parents and that. I'm like, get in your house, people, man. Go watch some Netflix, man.
I'm telling you. I saw on my way back from work, I saw these two young girls, and I'm saying they're young. They looked about 13 or something. Mini skirt and bra top and thing out a door. And this time, I was like, they're going out to celebrate Halloween. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, what's going on?
Crazy. But you know what the mad thing is? Listen, anybody tuning into this show, I don't mind. I'm just a little bit past 18, all right? So don't watch the ride there. This time when we was younger, there wasn't. I know people are out. There was more people out, as you said, probably knocking on and getting sweets and stuff like that. I remember it was more to do with because when's Guy Fawkes? That's the 5th, isn't it? So that's next week. All I remember it being in my neighbor's garden, them having them times you can have bonfire in your back gardens, and people just used to whatever rubbish or stuff you had in your house, you can just burn in your garden, right? You can't do that now. So I just remember my neighbor. Yeah, I just remember my neighbors next door having what's it, jacket potato, getting baked. They had beans and sausage. That's what I remember down these time and like a little ragdoll. What was that thing? Fireworks getting burnt. I didn't know about people going out and knocking on people's house for sweets and all of them things. It's similar to you. My parents went into them things, they boy.
Just in time, boy. Knocking on people's yards, begging for sweets, and Preds turns up.
What it is, Preds couldn't come back until he got a trim. That's what it was.
It's true. It's AI. Look, AI. It's AI Preds, man.
Yeah, man.
Easy. Light up looks sharp too.
Fresh headset.
Yeah, boy. Big up to Clipstar. You know what I mean? Clipstar. That's his name. Clipstar.
Okay.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Yeah, Clipstar.
Clipstar knows he's gonna pay for that now, yeah?
Yeah, listen, you go there, you say you know Preds, you get a little discount and everything, innit?
He better because he just got bigged up on Cop Talk, bro. We're free advertising. Yeah, remember that. I'll be having words anyway.
All right.
Evening shouts goes out to VW. Nice to have you on board, sir. CW as well. The gentlemen, the ladies of choice. Mr. Fitzforum Brighton. Demas, of course, Demas would be here because we played Arsenal, so of course he would be here. Yes, I know you must have a lot to say today. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. We're on it, mate. We are on it like a car bonnet, I tell you. But Prince, it's nice to have you back, man. You've been all right. Everything been good, yeah?
Yeah, everything's been blessed. You know what? I was just going through my mind how I didn't realize how much I would have missed you guys. I miss you guys, you know.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Come on.
I missed you. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I was watching while I was away and trying to join in with the conversations about some really good shows and really good comments. And I was like, listen, I can't wait for Thursday to come around because we got so much done, Pack.
I'm telling you. So we've got 2 games as usual. It's like 2 games every week now we've got to talk about. So obviously, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Brighton, Liverpool. So the first one we are going to kick off with is the Arsenal, Liverpool, the big one. We was waiting for this one. And like they said, man, you know what I mean? We played nobody of note. We ain't been tested. We've played Chelsea. Now we played Arsenal. I wonder if they're still saying the same thing. So, gentlemen, first question I'm going to ask, open floor, is should we see this game against Arsenal as a missed opportunity to beat them, considering the injuries and whatever that they had?
I'll go first quickly. For me, no. Simply because I just think, firstly, they only actually had 2 actual injuries. So this whole Arsenal narrative of them being decimated by injuries, no. You had 2 injuries and you're missing 3 players because the third player decided to pull them back rather than running back. So actually, they had Calafiori and Odegaard. So they had actual 2 injuries. This whole Arsenal injury crisis is another Arsenal tears production. It's just ridiculous.
That's so like tears production.
So yeah. So for me, I just look at it like this. Arsenal are a good team. They are coached well. Their manager has had 5 seasons or 5.5 seasons to imprint his tactical blueprint and to sign players for that. So by default, Arsenal are meant to be ahead of us. So Arsenal missing 2 players isn't a reason why Liverpool, in my opinion, should be expected to go there and win. And I just think they played well in the first half, and then we played better in the second half. And I just think, kind of based on the injuries that we had, you could argue that our keeper maybe saves the first goal. Maybe you'd say that. And he's missing our first choice goal scorer. So we had 2 injuries through the spine of our team, goalkeeper and striker. So this whole idea that like Liverpool were fully fit and buoyant and running and Arsenal had this injury crisis, it's just like that just didn't bear out in the actual facts. I just think, to get a point away there, it's fine. I just think, you win your home games against your rivals and you don't lose your away games, and that's how you win the title.
Good point. Stoney?
Yeah, I was really, really, really looking forward to this game. I'll be honest. I think the onus is really on Arsenal to perform. If we've probably seen where they've finished in the last couple of seasons, just behind City, I think all of the pressure was in their head. They were at home. Similar to what Dr. Blake was saying, I know a lot of Arsenal supporters, and they were chatting a lot of fluff about what they were going to do, in what manner in which they were going to do it. I think I'm personally happy with the draw. As I said, there was more emphasis on Arsenal to actually perform. And you know what? In all honesty, I just thought it was a really good game. I was entertained. I thought it was really good from 2 sides. Playing football as well. Yeah, definitely. I thought the way in which Arteta set up was positive. Every time Gallagher's playing in goal, I'm still enjoying how he's playing. It was interesting to see Curtis Jones play in more an advanced position in this game instead of Dominic as well. So overall, I just can't complain. I thought it was a really good game of football. Enjoyed it. And if I put my hand on heart, I think a draw is a fair result.
Okay. And Preds?
Well, it made me laugh during the week because it seemed like there was this big narrative about the players that they were missing. And I think, Docs has said it right. Said it as well.
Let me stop you just there before. Just stick a pin just before you carry on. So what they were saying was how they were trying to call it was, first off was Saka. We know that he played. Odegaard, Calafiori, Timber, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, Tierney, and obviously Saliba, red card.
They're crazy. Yeah, I've played more games for Arsenal this season than Tomiyasu. So them saying that he wasn't available is just absolute bananas. And I think everybody knew that Arteta was going to try that that little move with saying that Saka was still injured. It didn't surprise me when he started one bit. So I do apologise, Preds. Go ahead, sir.
No, like you said it all. I mean, that's what made me laugh, the narrative of what they were trying to say of all these players. And like VV said in the interview after the game, they only had 2 players injured. 2 players out of the starting 11 is going to be injured. So, you know what? I'm happy to go to North London, get the point, keep it moving. I'm happy with that. I think end of the day, they've gone on, scored Saka's goal. I know Doc said the keeper could have done better. Look, if you're gonna strike it, an air post, you're going to strike it high and with power, which is always going to beat the goalkeeper. But you know what? I think we came back really, really well. And, you know, like I said, we got the point. We kind of answered a few questions. People were saying about playing these big teams. In actual fact, I wasn't like on the edge of my seat, like even when we was 2-1 down, I wasn't like on my edge of my seat going, oh my God, what's going on? Come on, boys, come on. I always had this kind of inner confidence of going, you know what, we're building throughout the second half, and it's going to come. And to be fair, the role Nunes played, fair play to the kid, stayed on side for our first one, and Salah slotted it in. So yeah, you know what, I'm happy, mate.
Okay. CW also mentions that we played Brighton as well, who are in the top 6. When we're talking about teams that we've played. Very true. And yep, that's right. Arsenal had the same amount of injuries as us. A point is better result for us than them. We said that before the game.
100.
Fitzwarren Brighton says we need a left back like right now.
That was one thing that was highlighted.
That is something that is about my next question, to be fair. 100%. Demas, he said that I did call it a draw weeks ago. A massive big shouts goes out to Mr. Amit. How you doing, sir? Amit is part of my Copology group. Nice to have you on board, Amit, supporting the team. And a happy Diwali goes out to you and anybody
Happy
celebrating.
Diwali.
Yeah, no problem. Bandman Rolling, nice to have you on board. Wonder where you at now, man? Where you abouts now? Yeah, this man's all over the place. Nice to have you on board. Okay, let's go back to Fitzwarren's point, because that is my actual next question on my paper. So, is Robbo done, or is it just bad form?
Listen, get a fork and stick it in him, bruv. He's done.
Fred's even. No sitting on the fence.
He's done. Saka.
Listen, no, he's done, bro. He's done.
Done. Like, listen. In all fairness, he served the club well. He's been one of my favourite players. I love the way that he played and the energy and enthusiasm and the quality that he brought to the left side. Finally, but listen, that moment where the ball went over, it wasn't even like great movement. It was just timing. And then from when Saka gone, Robbo, like it looked like, you know, remember the is it Gladiators back in the day when they had to travel up they had to run a travelator?
Yeah.
Damn, travelator.
So yeah, for me, him done.
Okay, Stoney, is he done, or is it just a poor run of form?
And I had a feeling we were going to answer this question, you know. It was so interesting because I was trying to think in my own head the last time I remember Robinson actually having a good game. I was also trying to think the last period of time where he performed even at half of the level that we're used to. So in my head, I'm thinking, is it that he's not performing at the heights we're used to? Or is it that he's lost form? Is he being asked to play a little bit differently? And I was trying to take all of those things into account, and not just under Arne Slot, but after the last couple of months that he had under Jurgen Klopp. And I think I just was constantly coming back to the same outcome. And I think if we are going to make... No.
That's crazy.
Man, man's for Robbo.
So hold on, before I get to Doctor, just hold on 1 minute to Doctor. So, CW says, take that all day long. We were better in the second half. Would have took them being 1 point behind at the start of the season. From half troops, Robertson needs replacing in January or summer. We keep ticking games off. Amit says we're showing great character this year. The mentality is locked in. Amit also goes on to say that Robbo ain't done. Doctor.
So I just think before the season started, I said that we needed like a new left back for multiple reasons. Like I've been quite strong on this.
We've been saying it from last season.
Yeah, I think Robbo, even I'd probably say the last 2 years under Klopp, he's been below his high standards. Obviously, one of those years was the year of the World Cup where we were all terrible, and then last year in our title challenge, I just felt he just didn't hit the same standard. And I just think, look, like I remember seeing a stat that something like since Klopp's come, Robbo's played the second amount of minutes and Mo's first. And I just think for what his game is like, he's somebody who probably needed to be rotated a lot more for a period of time just to sustain his freshness. But I just think to myself, if I'm just looking at what I believe Klopp wants from a fullback, I don't think that plays to Robbo's strengths. I think if Robbo's not been able to run up and down, I just don't think he's that effective. Whereas Klopp wants somebody to be able to take the ball in tight spaces and add to our build-up, hold our position. Like the off-the-ball movement in terms of overlapping isn't as important. So I just think you're saying to Robbo to basically play football for most of the game. I don't think he's that good at that part of the game. I actually think Gomez in possession is probably slightly better. What I probably didn't foresee, I'm not trying to be Mystic Meg here, is how exposed defensively he would be. I could see that he'd been declining, whereas this season, it's like man taking him for ham sandwich, bro. It's like it's crazy because against Chelsea, Madueke in his head almost like, I'm playing against a little man. Give me the ball now, quickly, and I'm going for him. And he went for him. And I just think in both of those games, because of how Robbo's been killed, other players have had to sacrifice their own game to protect him. So he's just become a weakness for the actual team. Because it's not that he's just getting killed. Diaz is having to drop deeper. McAllister's having to come over. Jones against Chelsea having to come over. It's like, yeah, he's done. Maybe he can be back up, but he's not on backup money. So, but he's got character for the squad.
Brighton says, Fitzwarren Brighton as well. Yep, he says he's done.
Wow, shocking, bro. He's
okay. Van Man Rolling. He says Robbo needs upgrading, but he is not done. Okay. CW says Tsimikas would have been a shout versus Saka. Robertson needs to play against players who won't test him for pace.
Yeah, I think Chris is right. And I guess I didn't necessarily realize how vulnerable he is now to pace.
Yeah. It's like if you think about it, that's Saka, right? And Saka, for me, I appreciate good players, and he's getting better and better. So if Saka can do that to him, and then you're going forward, we're going to be playing, big games, Man City, and
Savinho, Brighton have got Minter. It's just
and the thing is, he didn't the ball. It was a good ball, to be fair, for that geezer, right? It's a good ball, good movement. But what it was, that the recovery run, he was trying his hardest. I can't say he weren't trying his hardest. But then for Saka to have the composure and the quality to then knock it back and then nuts him.
Bro,
and then
it was painful to see.
Yeah.
It was very painful to see. I'm not gonna lie. Very, very painful to see.
Painful, and you could almost not forgive it. It's obviously then after that, Robbo then got to grips with it and started to improve. But after that, it was just a continuation of it was just battering. Like it's almost like Robbo wanted to do like a Colin Henry again. Help.
Yeah.
He's calling man help. Like,
and the thing is, is that we're not playing the same tempo under Slot that we did under Klopp. Like our tempo is a more managed tempo. So in respect of happening in the early part of the game, and we was quite high up, and for him, as soon as I see Saka see Robbo's number, that's when I thought curtains. curtains because Robbo didn't know where he was.
Mm. Pete.
And that's what man. That's where you get taught. That's where you get taught back in the day. When you see the number of your defender, that's when your eyes open up.
You got him.
And you got him.
So Amit says he's going through a rough patch form-wise. He would adapt and prove to be an important member of the squad.
But you see, that's the key thing there. Amit's mentioned squad. I think for me personally, I think if we're looking at key personnel and moving forward, I would like our left back to have a defined role. So we as supporters, historians know that we're going to have a very, very, very good left back. And at the moment, I think we've got Robbo and we've got Tsimikas, and they're not, in my opinion, they're not up to the current scratch for us in terms of moving forward. Anyway, similar to Doctor, I think it has to be we mentioned it anyway on previous shows. I think that needs to be one of the key areas that we do need to purchase a player, and that's at left back.
Just to jump on
I think it's just age with Robbo.
Yeah, it probably is. He's just wear and tear. But just to jump on the point that Stoney was making as well, wasn't it against Leipzig where the guy kills him and then luckily their striker was offside? And then
yeah.
So we basically just got consistent killage.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chelsea killage, Leipzig killage, Arsenal burying, Brighton killage again. I'm like, bruv.
He's having a rough time.
Every week now. It's not even every week. It's like twice a week.
And you know what? It does bring me back to, like, say the last 6 months of Gary Neville, right, where he had this established footballer who is respected, rated, and wingers are just like, he's easy food now. I'm gonna go and make a statement against him. And it's almost like now managing Robbo and like, I'm going for his scalp because now I can take his scalp. Yeah. So it's worrying the amount of time his wingers are lighting up.
Amit says he was class at the end of last season,
which is quite interesting because that in my own head, I think it probably then contradicts what I was saying because I did not think Robbo was good coming to the end of last season.
No,
so maybe
that's why we came on here talking at the beginning of this season on this show about wanting a new right back.
Yeah,
you know
we've started the season talking about that.
I think he did start playing well towards the end of last season, but I think why I was just like, okay, this needs to end now. One, just the wear and tear. Two, his performances over a period of time. But like I say, it's almost like for him to play well, he needs to be doing what he did 3 and 4 years ago and bombing up and down the pitch and getting to the byline and the overlaps and the underlaps. But if we're going to have Trent inverting and moving up the pitch, like if you're doing that, then you then need your left back to then tuck in and then form a free. But like, like a 3-2. So, but if Robbo's just bombing forward, then who is defending? And last season, what was our major issues? Getting caught in transitions because Robbo is not where he should be and is just running forward. And then DVPing these man, it's just too much.
Well, there goes Demas, the Arsenal fan. Robbo has given you so much more than 8 million worth. However, you do need to move on from him.
Completely agree.
I mean, it's testament to Robbo that we're having this conversation because Robbo's been one of the top performers for over 4 or 5 years. He's been one of the top performers. And that comment there where Demas is saying about 8 million. Look what we got for 8 million quid.
Yeah, come on. From Hull. You can't knock that. You can't
knock that. You can't knock that.
Signing of the Klopp era, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you also think, you know what? All right, here's another way to look at it. You know, sometimes when somebody they set a bar that is that high.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Anything else is just substandard. And the bar was levels because when you check out, they was talking about, they called him and Trent the postman because they always delivered.
Yeah.
The assist that they were doing.
He was brilliant.
The stats that they posted.
He was brilliant.
It's like unheard of stats for fullbacks. Yeah. So now, obviously, the decline is on. So it's like it's a roasting now. You've gone. It's like you've gone from the top to the bottom like that.
Bro,
From 0 to 100 like that.
man, are paying him no respect, bro.
No, there's none. I mean,
No, I'll give him.
that we need to strengthen the left back area for sure. 8 Nori would be my shout, or possibly Estepinian. But he still goes on to say, but Robo ain't done. Far from it.
I think he's
You
got
know,
BW says best left back we've had in the last 40 years.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
you know,
but who have we had? Steve Staunton, we've had Bjornaby, we've had Risa. I mean, and that's fine, Vinny. We have had some punks at left back. Though.
Steve can't run Staunton.
Yeah, we've had.
Staunton had a rocket though.
Bjornaby.
yeah, that left foot boy.
Steve Burrows.
Big
We've had
in the
some
Bjornaby,
crazy left
bloody
backs,
hell.
man. That's what I'm. That's the level that Robbo's up against. You know what I mean?
Aurelia was good, but he was injured.
Yeah, injury prone. He could play ball.
Yeah, he was good, man.
He's a baller.
40 years.
Bloody hell.
Who was the left back under
Who else
Kenny
did we have?
Dalglish?
Huh? Steve
Hold on.
Staunton, wasn't it?
Didn't Jeremy Chure play there?
Yeah,
He did. Garbage.
Bambi on skates.
Yeah. On skates, on roller skates, on ice.
Ice, roller skates, anything, boy. That boy, I tell you, Jimmy, boy. You know what? It's like I think it's just like how like cynical. Well, not cynical. How fickle football supporters, and I'm a football supporter. How fickle we can be, because like when they're really up there, they're up there, and when it's time, when you see a little bit of a demise, you think, yeah, you know what, it's time to move on. And that's how football is. It evolves. I really do hope. And Amit, to be fair, if you watch back all these shows, whenever we hammer someone, they come out. They come back. We've hammered people. We've hammered Darwin. We've hammered Mo. All sorts, and they've come back stronger.
Okay, so Badman Ronin says Nori is rubbish. And Amit said he wanted him. He said that Nori is rubbish.
I like him, innit?
You know what it is for me though? I ain't gonna lie. Nori is probably our kind of baller, because he's a baller and he takes people on, plays football.
Baller. Great
But
on
you remember his first job is meant to be left back as a defender. And I'm not sure if man are really watching that part of his game. But
I think Nori,
as a footballer, he's class.
I think Nori would be an upgrade to Simicas, but I don't believe he's got the quality at this moment in time to come in and say, yeah, this is my shirt.
No, I know. You know what? I think actually the problem is that he's in the wrong position. I think he's a wing back.
Okay.
That would be his best position. The way that he plays, wing back would be his best position.
I see him working well simply because I think, like you said, he's a baller. So he's good with the ball at his feet. So he doesn't need to vacate his position to be effective. He can take the ball and progress it. It's drop his shoulder, create angles, link plays, passing is good. And I think that's what Slot wants, isn't it? He wants his fullbacks to be able to create, to be a part of our actual build-up.
Yeah, but do you want your left back to be a baller though?
But I think that's what Slot wants, because I don't think he wants these guys to be leaving their positions. What I would say with Nori, and I think it's a fair point, when I watch Wolves, I do sometimes see him do questionable things defensively. Now, I don't know if it's a mentality thing, or why I think maybe it could be a mentality thing is when we play Wolves, he turns into Maldini against Mo Salah. Salah does no change out in the team. None. So I don't know if he's saying to Liverpool, like, this is what I can do in it. So like, it's up to you, because
It's audition, isn't it?
Because he gives Salah a torrid time consistently.
Yeah, but all right, you know what? That's not for me. That's not a great big up, because Salah's now like on the decline. He's not really beating players like that no more.
Yeah, but I mean, even like 3 years ago,
scoring goals, but he's not going past people.
Yeah, but I mean, even like 3 years ago, when Salah was still had that razzmatazz and he could go past you, I thought he's always struggled against him, like always.
Saka is on an upward trajectory. He'll do that to most left backs. He comes up against Robbo, who is on a downward trajectory. There's no shame in getting rinsed by Saka.
Now there is now, man. We want to win the league. And
Well,
like another thing tactically is obviously like we're not going to do it against all teams, but we've seen it this season where Slot wants to be compact on the pitch. So he wants nothing to be able to play through us. So by default, teams are going to find space on the sides of us. So if that's where teams are going to find space, you then need fullbacks who can then defend that space and then not compromise our actual shape. So I think having fullbacks with a good 1v1 defensively is quite important to our tactical setup. And if Robbo's just getting rinsed and just taking that, he's just not even there. Like,
yeah. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna have a quick few more minutes because you know what? It's half an hour in, and we've been talking about Robbo. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up a few more comments, and then we're gonna
listen.
move.
I said it early doors. I stick the fork in it and keep it moving.
When Saka turned in, Robbo was like Patrick Trevor from EastEnders. We all see that at me. It's already saying play Gomez at left back until January.
I'm in favor of it.
Gomez is no left back. We need to stop this square peg round hole football. That didn't win us anything.
They're not beating them defensively.
Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Voice of the game. Can't forget about Phil Kebab.
Hold on 1 second. So, Preds, do you and Phil Babb have something in common?
Sorry?
Do you and Phil Babb have something in common?
Only apart from the link that he was my gaffer back in the day.
Didn't he used to manage Hazen Yedin?
Yeah, he was my gaffer at Hazen Yedin. Yeah, he was.
See that?
Yeah. What's he like?
Oh. And how was he as a gaffer?
The gaffer, listen, he was a really good gaffer for me. He was really good. He was very, you know what? He was very humble, but like he was serious in regards to he knew what he wanted, how he wanted things to go.
Was he good, like tactically aware and all that? Was he good?
Yeah, tactically he was, and at the time he was going through his badges as well. But tactically, he knew what he was talking about. You knew when you sat down and he talked about football, you knew that he played at the top level.
Okay.
You know, with his knowledge and experience, and it's easy for people to just go to this our level and say, "Oh, I done this, I done that." He never done that once, and he was really humble and he kept it. He kept, you know, he was on the level, and the boys played for him, and you know, yeah, he's a good guy, man. Good guy as well. So yeah.
Nice. Big up, man. Big up.
Okay.
So bad boy.
Okay. All right, Mr. Phil.
Roy Evans signed him, innit? Was it Roy Evans or was it Souness? Was it Evans?
I'm not quite sure, but I'll tell you what though, he's got some great stories. Some great stories. He told some great stories on away trips on the coach, mate.
Okay.
You know, yeah, you know when those, like, you know, I was like a kid in a school shop, not in a school shop. I was like a kid in a sweet shop. I was like, oh my God, really? No. Yeah, all of those, mate. It was brilliant.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, we're going to move on. That's what. Oh, before we move on from Robbo, right? So the talk is Liverpool are looking at, as we mentioned, how many times it's come up again. 8 Nori. They're also looking at Milos Kirkev of Bournemouth.
He's good.
And another one they're looking at, which I heard that Arsenal were also interested in before, is Jarell Hato of Ajax. And I know that he's a bit of a baller as well. So it seems like we're not the only ones who can see it. They can see it, and they are actively looking for a left back. And the last point on that before we go, gentlemen, and quickly, if we do get another left back in, we get rid of one. Who's going? Tsimikas, Robbo.
Tsimikas for me.
Okay.
I think Robbo. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tsimikas has got the longer contract as well, though, hasn't it? So, I mean, I know that the finance wouldn't be an issue between either of them, but if it was, then for me, yeah, it would be Tsimikas. But I know he had a contract extension, but Tsimikas for me.
Okay, Doctor.
It depends on what happens with Van Dijk and Salah. If both of them stay, then I'd get rid of Robbo.
Okay. I was just looking at it from both sides. You know what? Football side, business side. I think it would make more sense business-wise if you got rid of Robbo, get him off the wage bill and that as well.
And also as well, I think, see, when you look at like the LFC behind the scenes footage and that, like Tsimikas is proper good for the dressing room. He's proper well liked still. He's in very different cliques, and he's always part of the banter, and he accepts that he's not always playing every week, and it doesn't change his attitude and his energy and that. So not to say that Robbo isn't good for the dressing room, but I guess Kostas is good as a number 2, where Robbo hasn't had that role, so we don't know how he would adapt to that. But Kostas is just likable.
And I must say, a massive, massive shout goes out to Mr. Stitches. Yes, man. Stitches is on the show, my boy.
Wait, the man's got some information from my guy.
Of
in
course,
here.
You know, my man, Stitches got the inside scoop, man. Stitches got
That's true.
some people in high places. Nice to have you on board, Stitches, man. I haven't spoken to you in a little while. In case you didn't know, people, Stitches used to be part of this show as well back in the day. You know what I mean? Still remains a good friend of ours. Anyway, Stitches says that Indy says VVD wants a 3 years. We've offered 2, and a deal is close. You heard it here first, people.
Give it to him, man.
Fitzwarren says Robbo to go. Hato better defensively, in my opinion, than the 2 you mentioned. But again, it's what we want in that position. Do we want defensive capabilities or natural wing backs?
That would be my pick still.
Okay, next, let's move on from that now. We can move on from this left back thing now. Anyway. Big question that a lot of Arsenal people have been on about. Was it a pen, Konate, Martinelli?
Konate clearly wins the ball, so it's not a penalty. Yeah.
Quite a few of them have come up to me, even at work today. My colleague come up to me, and first thing he said, like, what did you reckon of the game? So I gave him my view, and then he said to me, don't you think you lot were lucky, though? It was a penalty.
So apparently it was a penalty, and the Kai Havertz goal that was disallowed when, what's his name? Their left back, centre back jumps over Dom. I can't remember what his name is. It will come to me, man.
Yeah.
But that one, and then so apparently that's the big incident. And I think I'm gonna say this very quickly. We know as a fan base what it feels like to go a extensive amount of time and not win the league. And I accept Arsenal in our 21 years. They've never won the Europa League or the UEFA Cup. They've never won the Champions League, but they see themselves as a big club, and they are historically a good club as well. So I understand why they're desperate. But Arsenal fans, this is like a public appeal message. Please stop with the tears. Please. Just please. It is possible, Arsenal fans.
Public appeal.
Like, it is possible for you to drop points and the referees have played no part because you just was not good enough. Complaining about the refs, the this, the that, it does you no good. Like, these men are so desperate to be at the forefront of some kind of conspiracy that they're claiming other people's skanks. So Saliba gets sent off rightfully against Bournemouth. If you think Tosin should have got sent off against Liverpool, the team that was skanked was Liverpool, not to you, because we were playing against them. We were robbed of having a man advantage, not to you. Not everything can be about you. Man is sending me the clip of that thing with the Havertz when he wins the challenge and scores the goal and saying, look, it's a skank. And I'm like, if you jump in the ball and the ball hits you there, it's handball. You're sending me a clip of a handball telling me you've been skanked. Just like, lads, stop it, innit? You're not like, there's no conspiracy against you. You're not being skanked. You just was not good enough. Accept it. I'm done.
Yeah, big up Stitches, man. Big up your damn self. Arsenal fan Demas says, nope, it wasn't a penalty.
It wasn't a penalty.
Thank you very much, Demas, for your honesty. Respect on that. CW says, nope, it was not a pen. Prince.
Sorry, I'm just looking for that soapbox that doctor was us on because I want to step on it, bro.
It's too much. It's too much.
Prince, Was it a pen?
Yes. Clumsy, but not a penalty.
See,
Not a penalty. I think.
he played it down, and Kanate got a nick on the ball.
Yeah,
Stoney,
he got a nick on the ball by Clumsy.
Stoney,
Yeah, no pen. No pen.
no pen. And you're our resident ref.
Yeah, there's definitely no pen. I know, similar to what Dr. Blake was saying. Sometimes it's just not worth entertaining some Arsenal fans.
That's
It's
a good
just
point.
not
It's
worth
some.
it. Yeah.
Some too many, but it's some.
Amit said, "Don't even give it any airtime. Out. No pen.
Thank
Move on.
you.
Next topic." Wow.
Let's go on, Emmett.
This the disallowed goal. Rightly disallowed. Stoney. Let's go to our resident ref first. Stoney.
No, look, as he said, we've it's 41 minutes. We're giving Arsenal way too much airtime. Believe me, you know what? The ref didn't give it, VAR didn't give it. It wasn't no handball. We just move on, RT. Trust me, boy.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You just can't really expand. You just can't,
Yeah.
bro.
It's not.
But you know,
You're one the sensible one, Demas. We know that, man. You're sensible. We can have a decent conversation with you, and you'll
What I
always
would say
be
to
yours.
Demas, and I'm grateful that he is still sensible, but I've seen a number of Arsenal fans who I would have called sensible up until 2 years ago, who are now not sensible. Like
Thank you.
this Arteta guy, it's like he's spreading COVID, bro. He's spreading some kind of
No, it is. No, doctor. He's like Donald Trump. That would be like me putting up my hands and everybody can see it's 5, and Arsenal telling everybody it's 3 fingers I've got up. It's
Yeah,
them.
that's mad, bro.
Believe me.
oh,
guy.
man said he's spreading COVID.
AFTV clearly don't know the offside handball laws.
You know what? I don't even think it was handball from Hazard. I think it was an elbow in the face
Was
from
both.
Hazard. But yeah, both.
The ball hits him there. That's his arm.
Yeah. And then the geezer forearm smashed Trent into the goal
Yeah.
as well. Yeah,
Actually,
no penalty.
But wasn't it given for the jumping on
to Bosnia,
on
yeah.
the edge of the box? That's what it was given for.
It's
You know
like-
what? Seeing as we've got our resident referee here,
When they showed it as well, the referee blew the whistle for that challenge.
yeah. But referee Stoney, why did the referee delay the whistle after, if he's giving it for the first initial offence, which was the guy climbing over Szoboszlai? Why the delay?
Because
Sometimes
he was looking to see where the ball was going first, and if Liverpool would get the ball.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you're giving it an advantage. And you know what? Sometimes it's quite interesting as well. What we would have seen, we've got the advantage of watching on telly. That ref's processing stuff in his head as well, you know. So you see sometimes when things are happening, sometimes if the ref blows quickly, us, as you used to say, why did the ref blow so quick? And then if he takes long, why is the ref blowing so long? That ref's
Fair
still
enough.
processing stuff in his head, and he's processing things in his head, not just for VAR, but for him to make sure he's accountable for whatever decision he's actually going to have as well. So it's just that process is in their
I
head.
think, and also to add to the question, I think not that it's going to be an advantage, but I think he expects Kanate to win the header. So then Liverpool may then have possession of the ball and play.
That's right.
I get that. I understand that. Yeah.
And actually, if you think about it, he's right to expect Kanate to win the header, and Kanate would win the header if Kai Havertz didn't handball the ball. So
I get that. But I get that, and I get that he's processing it. What I don't get is there was clearly, even if he was waiting to see if Kanate was going to get the ball, there was no clear advantage for Liverpool because Liverpool were in our defending final third. So in effect, there was no clear advantage for us because we were defending. So even though he did,
if we win, depending on where we win the ball at,
But,
who's one of the best teams that go in breakaway and scoring goals?
but the referee's independent. He's not thinking about that. But I think two passes, but he could have easily, Kanate could have easily mistimed the jump, mistimed it, and it would have gone over. What I'm saying is that we were defending. There was no clear advantage for us.
I hear that still.
Yeah, but you have to try and let it play out.
Yeah, and that's
He
what
can't
it was
Why?
as
Yeah,
well.
but
Because
if we're in
listen,
the
what I'm trying to say, you have to
yeah.
remember, if he makes that decision, then we'll never know if he had the advantage or not. Whereas if he lets it play out, then you
Thank
can
you.
see, okay, yep, then maybe we might get away with it. If we
Yeah.
don't, then he can blow and say no.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it
And
back.
remember,
You have
like
to,
what Otti is,
you can't pull it short.
yeah, like what Otti was saying is, you let the game play out, because if the ref is deemed a decision, remember, he can always blow, you know, and then bring it back to the field of play.
Yeah.
Whereas if you blow it early, you're not able to let it play out. And guess what? We've all played football. You guys have all played at a very high level as well. Sometimes you have to let the game play out, and then you can deal with those conversations and be accountable afterwards.
I get that in the middle of the park in regards to a foul go. If the referee thinks there's a foul and he's going to delay it in the middle of the park to see if there is a clear advantage, then I get that. But there was Liverpool under pressure. Liverpool were defending. There was no even if Ibu would have scored the goal, and I know would have won the header, and I know you're saying in 2 passes weak of the thingy, but we don't know that. But there was no clear advantage when we're defending on the edge of our box.
That's what you said. You see what you said? You don't know that, so he has to let it play out first.
But what I'm saying is, what advantage is Liverpool going to get defending from our? We didn't have the ball, so we're defending on our 18-yard line. Lee. No, I'm not going around in circles, Lee. If you're in the middle of the park, I can get that. You'll get the delay in regards to the thingy. But when the team is defending on the 18-yard box, 18-yard line, they're defending. There is no clear advantage and the ball, by the way, is traveling behind us. The ball wasn't in front of Kai. The ball was going in behind us. So if the ball's going in behind us, what clear advantage have we got defending on our 18-yard line and the ball's progressing through?
If he wins the ball and we get the ball, it could take 1 to 2 passes.
But what I'm saying is
know that if he doesn't let it play.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if the ball was going in the opposite direction, i.e., is going forward. When we going forward, I get the delay and I get the advantage, because now the ball is now going forward and we are now moving from our defending 18-yard line. We weren't that. The ball was coming back into our box. So where is the clear advantage? Is if the ball is now being put in, if the ball is then going back, and we're now going backwards into our own penalty box. There's no advantage.
When he made the initial challenge over Szoboszlai and the ball was coming back towards us, it actually did look like we was going to win the ball.
You can say look like, or you can say you can assume. The fact of the matter is that the lad climbed over Szoboszlai, he won the header, and the ball was coming back into our box. That's facts. So if the ball's coming back into our box and we're defending, our defending line is on the 18-yard line, and we're going backwards, where's the advantage?
You're just saying he should have just blown up straight away there.
If he thought it was a foul, then blow up, because there is no advantage for Liverpool, because the ball's going back into our penalty box. If the ball was going forward and we was in a forward flowing movement going forward, I get the delay and I get the advantage. But we're going back into our penalty box. There is no advantage, regardless of whether he wins the ball or not.
Both valid points, but watch this. The fact that he let the game play out means we're having the discussion. And the fact that the ref managed to play out means that the ref still had the correct decision in the end.
Yeah, fair dues. My opinion. Yeah. And you know what? Ask the question, and we've all answered it, and we've all got thingy. It's just, I'm just one of those. I'm on the pitch. When I'm on the pitch and I've got that, and I'm thinking, ref, blow up. There's no advantage coming back in our box. But hey, referee, I'm not going to go against you. I listen to what you're saying, Stoney, and I'm going to accept it.
Just a quick Arsenal quick. We actually do need to move on quickly. Just a very quick one. Did you see the challenge when Moreno, who scored the goal, maybe about 10 minutes prior to him scoring the goal, where he jumps in the box and he lands on his shoulder awkwardly? Did you see that one?
Yes.
I can't recall it.
Yeah.
They didn't make a big deal about it. When they showed the replay, right? He jumps in the box and then he gestures towards the ref like, "Ref, I've been fouled." And
It was actually his own man.
No, yeah, exactly. No, it's worse than that. He kicks himself. Doesn't realize he's kicked himself, and is calling for a penalty. I was like, you see these Arsenal, man?
He kicks
How
himself.
ridiculous.
Hey, I'm going to be provocative here, Doctor. Robbie Fowler used to do that, And get paid.
There was no one around him. There was no one around him. Mid-air, he feels contact on his leg. He looks to the ref. I was like, brother, you kicked yourself in mid-air, fam. Like,
Okay.
No. These men are scandals.
Van Man Rolling says Arsenal didn't do enough to win the game, and they were poor in the second half.
I agree with that.
CW says big up Demas, only real Arsenal fan I've seen.
Agree with that as well.
True. And Demas says, yeah, respect CW, man. Fitzwarren says, agree with Dr. Blake. Some Arsenal fans crying because they're not winning the league. Because of it, yeah.
And that's what you're saying. There was more pressure on them, and that's what I was saying. And the thing is, we're in October, and I know that one game can have a big impact on wherever teams finish throughout the season. But this is meant to in quotes meant to be the mighty Arsenal underneath an amazing Arteta. And these guys are just trying to scream over to how high the blades of grass were. And this is just this typical some typical Arsenal fans. This, come on, you got the draw. Let's just move on now, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Too right. Okay, gentlemen. So, Nunes has now had a little run in the team. How do you see things with Nunes now?
Personally, I think he's playing well for him, and I think he's done like a lot of good things. I think his movement's been good. His hold-up play's been pretty good as well. His work rate's good. He's shown a bit of composure. He was very unlucky against Leipzig not to get another goal as well. And I think he did well for the Salah goal as well. I think why I've got this kind of but is I'm not sure that what Darwin's good at and Darwin playing well is necessarily what Klopp wants from a number 9 in that position.
Slot.
Sorry, there you go, Slot. Sorry. It's been a long day. So this is where I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure if Darwin playing well is still good enough for what Slot wants, but I do think he's playing well for his game.
Okay, Stoney.
Still too early for me to be able to give any real to really give a good analysis on Darwin. I think we've probably seen Jota was the main person who was playing in the top of our formation before he got injured. And since then, there's been slight adjustments to when Darwin's played. I think he's played 6 games so far, 2 starts. There's still early days. We're still in full competition, so I'm not going to judge anything on Darwin at this current stage. I would like if his form was as good as Goldie Gakpo's, but it's not. But, so I'm just saying that's what I'd have liked personally. But look, we still got enough time for him anyway. And you know what the thing is, even if between now and the transfer window in January, he's having a disaster, he's still not going to be moved on. We want him to perform, but I'm still watching to see how Arne Slot and the coaching staff hopefully make slight adjustments to his play, and it will obviously benefit our club. So I'm just waiting to see at the moment.
Okay, Prince.
I think if the rumours or if the media is correct in regards to Slot has done some personal one-on-one coaching with Darwin over the last few weeks or months, I can see that what he's doing, it's working at the moment. There is little examples of what Darwin Nunes is doing prior to Slot, and now when Slot's got him under his wing. And I think Slot's got time for him. And if he hasn't got time for him, he wouldn't be doing this one-on-one coaching X, Y, and Z. And I think the pinnacle, the one thing that demonstrated the coaching is that Darwin was very rarely offside. When he played against Arsenal, or when he has played, very rarely offside. He's a little bit more composed and a little bit more thoughtful on the ball in regards to it, rather than being erratic. And his movement in regards to what he done for the Salah goal, like he wasn't, he held the line and he made a run forward, and then he's then got the quality to then square it for Salah. So I think slowly but surely, I think the more games he plays and the more one-on-one training that he gets, until he's satisfied with him, I think he's going to hopefully, touch wood, keep improving. And I think that's all plaudits to Slot and his management team.
Okay, so CW says that Nunes at centre back, bloody good defending at set pieces. Nunes is doing well, especially defensively. Also against Arsenal, our front three got 2 assists and a goal without playing well. That's Mr. Van Rolling. Very true. This Nunes last chance, I would have had him gone in summer. Okay, been fans chanting his name, but performances matter. Not going to be one of these. I'll keep him till he's in the coffin. Damn right.
This is it.
Nunes has a goal and assist in his last 3 starts. We need to give the lad the rest of the season to make the judgment. The only thing up for me, all right, so what I'm seeing is, do you know what? He's definitely putting in the graft. That's one thing you cannot deny with this guy. He puts in the graft, he puts in the legwork, chasing back even down to the edge of the box to make tackles and whatever. He's doing that part. Preds made some good points, which is very true. He looks less erratic, a lot more composed on the ball now, making better decisions than that. But he's a number 9 and doesn't look like a goal threat. And that's my issue.
Agreed.
And that is my main issue with him. He's doing everything else apart from what he's really meant to do.
And I think this is kind of
not looking like a goal threat.
Trying to hint that as well. Like, we're not, for a player that takes a lot of shots naturally, he wants to be taking 5, 6, 7 shots, half chances. I think that's just how he likes to play the game. I don't even really see him taking many shots anymore. So this is the part where, and if I'm being real, even Jota, I know he had a couple of games where he missed a few chances that we expect him to score, but I can't say throughout the season I've seen him have a lot of chances either. I'd love to see the stats about the chances per game our number 9s are getting this season versus last season. And this is where I just think tactically what the Slot want from a number 9. And I always feel like he wants a Bobby, personally. I think he wants somebody who's got excellent hold-up play, link-up play, and the team can play through in tight central areas and can link play and keep it and move it out wide, can beat a man turn. So that's what I think. That seemed to be the profile of play that he kind of wants in that role. Because I just feel tactically, I just don't see our number 9s getting many chances.
Yeah, good point. Good point. One thing I will say though is that the difference, like, see when you got like that kind of Bobby type player, it wasn't a bag of goals from Bobby, but one thing is that you did fear is that if he got a chance, that he's going to finish it.
Yeah,
we don't have that same belief with Nunes. That's the difference.
Nunes looked more of a number 9 when we played in the Champions League. He had a couple of chances. I like the goal that he scored, but he was more of a the Leipzig game. I like it how he's nicked the ball off the line for Salah. I love that as a striker. That's brilliant. He had a decent header which got saved by our former Liverpool goalkeeper. And I just think, like I said, I just think I can see him starting to transfer whatever he's training he's getting one-on-one or whatever it is. I can see him transferring it on the pitch. So what happens. But I think I agree with you in regards to being a threat. He's not like that. He doesn't. For me, I don't think he sends chills down centre half's spines with his presence.
No. Mm-mm.
I think that's tactical.
They know. You know what they know is that they probably won't be given a lot of time on the ball. They're going to roughed up a bit, but they're not worried about him going on to score goals.
Mm.
And that's the biggest fear you want. And that's when people might panic and make a mistake around him.
Yeah.
CW says he agreed he's a bloody hard worker. Van Man Rolling says, would you say our style of play under Slot has changed in a way that we don't have the correct number 9 at the club?
For me personally, yeah. I think he wants a link man.
Omar Marmarouche, the Frankfurt Egyptian forward, getting strongly linked with us. Yep, I've heard talks about that as well.
He looks good.
He's only had one. It's only this main season, but I mean, he's been amazing. I think they purchased him. Is this Chris that's mentioned that?
Yeah.
Was it Chris? It's quite interesting as well, Chris. If you can just reply in the comments to us, I think we got him on a free from. No, I think Frankfurt got him on a free from Wolfsburg, but I think it's only this season that he's actually hit double figures. Though I think he's on probably about. Correct me, Chris. I think he's probably on about 27 goals this season, but this is the only season that he's actually had a really good, like, Rich Raymer form. I think he's probably on about 27 goals this season, but prior to that, he wasn't even hitting double figures. However, you know, he hasn't actually hit his prime yet. So yeah, just give us some stats, Chris.
And we been linked to the lad from Sporting as well.
Oh yes, we have. Can't remember his name yet. That we spoke about that earlier.
Galax. I can't remember his name. Victor something. But when he the lad who used to be when he the lad who used to play for Coventry City.
Goes to show, man, scouting, man. But you know what? Yeah, he's at Coventry. But this is the point, right?
Yeah.
The Championship has had some serious ballers in the last 3 seasons. Serious ballers who have not just gone on to be good Premier League players, but some of like the best in Europe. Think about Elise's now at Bayern Munich. Eze is actually playing for a top 4 club. Wharton's worth crazy amount of money. This lad's now being linked with Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal. Just like, man was at Highfield Road. Like,
they're about, man. They're about.
Yeah, like he was there. But yeah, I'm surprised more teams don't scout from the Championship personally. I have to admit, it's quality.
Van Man Rolling's got to keep it moving. Thanks for the support, my bro. Keep it moving. He says, yeah, correct. Only other time I hit double figures was for Wolfsburg reserves.
See? Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, okay.
Our resident Stato boy. Our resident Stato's on point today.
Don't worry,
not today,
I've been
as
messing up in
usual.
the past couple of weeks. Don't worry, man. I got lucky this week. Don't worry, man.
Let's round up this Arsenal game, then, gentlemen. All right, we'll go with Prince first. Let's round up this game before we move on. Overall, round it up for us.
What do you mean? Well, look, we got a point. We didn't play great first half. Came back second half. Good character. And I take the point, and like I said, we'll keep it moving. Look forward to the next game.
Okay, Stoney.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with Preds. The onus was on Arsenal. They were huffing and puffing. They were at home. They were on the spice. They wanted to get the victory. They didn't, and they're still behind us in the league. Watch the ride.
All right.
Oh, wait, then you didn't know it, boy.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, but listen, I just think we showed good attributes that will be important for us later on in the season. And that was good to see. Getting points away from home when you haven't necessarily always played well. And I just think, so, yeah, like you need that sometimes, man.
Okay. Yeah. I'm still disappointed with the performance. I thought it was a really good opportunity to play them and beat them. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with that, to be fair. I definitely am. And another thing that an Arsenal fan was telling me was we only managed to get the equaliser because Gabriel and who was it? Was it Timber as well? Went
Yeah, they're
off?
off the pitch.
Yeah. That's the reason why. He goes, that's the only how we was getting the equalizer. He goes, other than that, you weren't getting no equalizer.
Sorry, can you repeat that? What did he say?
He said the only reason we got the equalizer was because Gabriel and Timber went off. Yeah.
Who knows? Look, maybe there's an element of truth in that from the viewpoint of they were then weaker defensively. But then, to go back to the point, it's ifs and buts. But just because you had players who got injured, that was no reason for you to play like you had 10 men. You still had 11 players on the pitch. You chose to sit back and play like you had 10 men. That's on your manager. And it's almost like I was saying, you wouldn't have gone in front unless it was a set piece. Like,
Yep, I hear that.
Like, try and create some chances in open play.
First half was disappointing, but always respond in the second half after team talk.
Absolutely.
Okay. Gabriel and Timber are fully fit this weekend, despite they acted like they should have been on EastEnders.
Ridiculous, bro. I know.
Okay, so we move on to the seaside, gentlemen. Down at them Seagulls, which I did have a feeling it would be a bit of a tough game, and obviously with a changed team. But let's kick off with I want to kick off with first, and I'm going to go to Preds. Jaros.
You know what? He's come in first start, and for him, I think he's got to be proud in regards to getting his first start, and he's got to be satisfied with his performance. The save he made, where he was going
100 save.
Oh, that one way. And the thing is, people like if I unpack it from a goalkeeper's point of view, right? Imagine 90% of your body is going one way.
Yes.
But then you still have the athleticism and to reach out, get the ball on the fingertips, and also divert it towards the post and out. Mate, what a save!
I'm telling you.
What a save!
I was in shock. I was like, where did we find this guy?
Yeah.
They're calling him Jaros Becker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, he done well when he came on against Palace. He done well, and even the first half, he done well keeping out. I think who was it? The right back. What's the right? Lamptey. Who I thought, whoa, I forget how quick that boy is, you know. But he broke and he's made a good save. And I've got to be honest, overall, he's done really, really well. And it's a pleasant surprise, very pleasant surprise that we've got potentially three outstanding goalkeepers. Well, 4, because we've got one on loan, haven't we?
Yeah.
Telling you. Okay. Doctor.
On Jaros,
Yeah.
Just I think it's because we had so many issues with goalkeepers for such a long time. I think, as Pred said, to have basically 4 good goalkeepers of different stature is a really positive place for the club to be, and it almost feels like we've got stability for the next 10 years in that position. So I just think, it's a great place to be in, man.
That's if you can keep them all happy.
Well, I think you'll have to sell a couple, which is fine. It makes sense. So I think for me, I would probably look at it in the next 18 months, 2 years, that it'd be the Georgian fella as number 1, and then Jaros would then be back up to that. And then we see how that plays out for a couple of seasons. And then if Jaros feels like he needs first team football, I'm sure we probably got a younger one who can then come into that, who can take that role.
Okay. See what he says there? Jaros did well at Sturm Graz. Mental, he's our third choice. One of the standouts. Never mind Gakpo. One worldies. Jaros worldie saved too. Stoney, Jaros.
Do you know what would be quite interesting? And I actually don't know this. It would be interesting to find out how structured our goalkeeping coaches are. because we have Allison there, we have Gallagher there, and we've got Jaros there. And to me, all three have actually shown that if they're in, we're all quite comfortable within it. So I mean, as our coaching staff, our goalkeeping staff must be doing something really, really, really positive as well. I mean, Jaros played like he had just come from a Stone Love dance. He was just relaxed. Even that, you see what I mean? And going back to what Preds was saying, the agility for him to actually pull off that save when he was actually going in the opposite direction. For me, I was actually comfortable with that as well. And as you said, we're seeing a series of things playing out this season. We have Allison, we trust in Allison, we know how he plays. Allison's out through injury. Gallagher comes in. We're comfortable with Gallagher. We're in a different competition now. Jaros comes in. And it's like at no period of time do we feel uncomfortable with any of our goalies playing in there. For me, that is a very, very, very happy place as well. So I'm really happy for him, and you can see he wants to stake a claim. So, very happy, RT. Very happy, man.
Okay. CW reckons that Jaros told Slot he wanted to leave, but Slot wanted him to stay as third choice, especially as we know Allison can get injured. Interesting.
I can see that being true.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to Jarrell Kwanzaa. Had to.
You know what? On him, it's really sad that people have gone out on a social media platform, hiding behind their keyboards, and giving this kid abuse when he, in actual fact, he played really, really well with Gomez. He's made an error, which as a goalkeeper, as a centre half, as a defender, if you make an error, 9 times out of 10, it might end up as a goal. But to hammer him for making a mistake, and we all make mistakes, and you know what? He's a young lad who's coming through the ranks, who is obviously got the quality and the potential. He's going to make mistakes. And this is where we kind of have to allow these youngsters to make these errors and not get on their case. And it is just really, really, it really disappointed me when people were giving, and I don't know whether they were Liverpool fans or people pretend to be Liverpool fans. I don't know, but it's just so wrong to go out and abuse young lads trying to make a career for themselves. And I know that they're in that kind of environment where if they make a mistake, it's going to be highlighted in X, Y, and Z. But yeah, it's just really disappointing to hear that he was receiving such horrible abuse. And in actual, like I said, in actual fact, he paired up really, really well with Gomez. And up until they scored the last 2 goals at the end, we were very comfortable. Like a 2-0, we were comfortable. So I hope that he seems like he's a lad who's made of strong stuff, and I hope that he kind of just goes away from it, take the positives from the game, and looks to continue improving his game.
Okay, Doctor.
So yeah, I think he played well, but I also feel that centre back is one of these positions where players tend to peak and develop a bit later than other positions. So I think it's conceivable that last season he showed potential, but maybe we just all got a little bit carried away in thinking that he's ready to be our main starter just yet. And I think Kanate has shown that he's at a different level to Kwanzaa. And that makes sense. He's played in Champions League finals Liverpool. He's played first team football in Germany. So I just think,
international.
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant talent. For me, Gomez should be ahead of him. And I think that's fine that you're our 4th choice centre back at 22 because Virgil van Dijk was still playing for Groningen. So I just think I agree with Preds. I think some of the fan comments are just unhelpful. And also I think Slot was right to pull him off because I think his head had gone a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I just feel like he's still young. He's still young, man, and he's got it all to prove.
Okay, Stoney.
Same thing. Echo what Dr. Blake and Preds has said as well. I think it's the same thing. we live in a culture and society where everybody wants to jump on the gun quite quickly. We've got a lot of keyboard warriors as well. I think the main thing is that I hope that he's got a good structure behind him, supportive wise. And I said he's a young lad. He's 21. Even though he's playing at the elite level because he's playing for Liverpool and in the Premiership, he's still developing his trade as well. So I know he's played quite a lot of games for the under 21s in addition to playing for Liverpool as well. But we have to keep him safe as well. This is young player that's developing his craft. And yeah, I've got no qualms. Similarly as well, you've got experienced players that still make errors as well. So these things will be part of young players' development, but we keep him safe, we look after him, and we crack on and we move on. Just hope that he's in a good place.
Okay. All right, just quickly, yes or no, gentlemen. Do you start him against Southampton in the next round?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I felt it was hard for him. He made that misplaced pass. And then he tried to block the ball, but cardinal sin, don't turn your back on the ball. I do say. And yeah, it's deflected off him and gone the other way from the keeper, giving the keeper no chance whatsoever. So it was a bit harsh. It was sad because I knew it was going to come off after that. And it was quite sad to see him going off, but I could see him in his head, having talking to himself. He was very upset, beating himself up, but it was probably the right thing to do, take him out the firing line. But hopefully Slot will have words with him, and you know what? He'll be back because definitely for me, other than that, rest of his game, he was mustard, man.
Class.
He was mustard.
That's what they say, though. That's what they say. Those errors and mistakes make you a better player, not the ones where where you've gone out there and you've got a cigar on. Those games, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully he comes back, like focused and not even geared up to kind of try and make up for the mistakes. He doesn't have to make up for the mistakes. It's happened. He just has to learn from it and move on.
CW makes a good point. It says doesn't help when we're playing out from the back for the whole game. Keep doing that. We'll bite you at some point in the game. So I don't blame Kwanzaa at that time. Just hoof it. If in doubt, get it out.
Yeah, but it's not football, man.
Nah, man.
And plus, he's good playing. Yeah, like he's good with football. Yeah, like he's a ball player.
You know how it goes, Preds. Rosette.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm old school. Listen, I want it as far away as my goal, mate.
Rosette, mate. Get it out. Yeah. Nice.
But this is what do you think? But this is what like this is. I feel like this is like an epidemic in regards to football, where everyone wants to play out from the back. Like, and I'm not criticizing X, Y, and Z. It's just predictable, and
it is. Freds, watch this, and I agree with you on that, right? So, and I hope. Well, I actually know that my manager's watching this game at the moment as well. So, in the last 2 seasons, my brother has still played football open age as well. He's made an adjustment to how he wants us to actually play football, and one of the main things he mentions to us is, you've done what you've needed to do all week. You've done your training, your prep and stuff like that. When you're playing football, he wants us on the ball. In any situation, he wants us on the ball, whether we're defending or in an offensive situation. So you see, in terms of that, Rosette, my manager is not having it. Any position that you're in, he's giving you confidence to make sure any position you're in, we've got the tactical setup to make sure no Rosette. He wants us to retain possession in any situation. So what you were mentioning there about playing out from the back, that's exactly as we play out.
Yeah, I know. But it's like, I'm watching the game the other day, right? And the team was losing and they were 1 goal behind and the clock was ticking, right? And it's like, you've just put your centre half up front.
Yeah.
Put the ball up front.
Different. Yeah,
but they want to pass. They want to pass to the point now where they've lost possession. They've sent their half down, and now they're defending. It's like I get it. Football's evolved, and it is what it is. It is what it is. But it's just
No, but I think you make a good point, Preds. It's about being effective.
Yeah.
And this obsession with playing one way is just stupid, in my opinion.
course.
It's just stupid
Mm.
and it's unnecessary. If you've got the players to do it, by all means, do it. But then the country that, if you like, reinvented this heavy possession football, Spain, in recent, well, I say reinvented it in the last, say, 10, 15 years or so, they're now not playing it. They're playing much more direct.
Yeah.
Like,
No
getting
more
to their forward players as the wingers quickly. Yes, they'll still look to control the game, but it's not just like playing around the back for that sake. And even Pep himself, okay, yes, he's still taking no risk and he's still playing from the back. But if you think about it, when we sold Mascherano to Barcelona, he's playing Mascherano at centre back.
Centre back.
Correct,
Whereas
yeah.
now he's playing with 4 centre backs.
Mm.
So the guy everyone's copying, he's constantly changing his own variations of it, whereas like everyone else is just like behind that. I just think, play to your strengths, man. Play to your strengths.
Like you say about Spain, but it's like Spain's got an identity in football. Like, sorry, just going off topic quickly, but England, in regards to our philosophy in football, like, what is it? Like back in the day, it used to be all blood and thunder, like direct, and that's when when you got
little man up front.
you Sam Allardyce, just going, George Graham, and just get the ball up front. Little man, the best effective one was Niall Quinn and Kevin Phillips. Remember them two?
That's
Like,
elite.
you know what I mean? I'm not saying that, like, go back historically, that there was balls, there was crosses coming in and X, Y, and Z, and now all of a sudden it's just like, because I say that because it's literally going down the levels.
It's everywhere.
It's filtering down to the, and even like Stoney saying about you playing in his team, it's filtered down to like that level there as well. And
and it's the point. But yeah,
CW
Arsenal will
saying,
play
look,
Man City.
he's
So I
saying
was
that
gonna say,
his local team, Carlisle, they're bottom of 2 in EFL, and they're doing it all the time, playing out from the bottom, and that's why they're bottom.
And I was just about to mention that, Chris. I was just about to mention that to you boys as well. I think you guys got. I think it's just Morecambe behind you guys as well, Chris. You guys got Salford City next game as well, Chris. And it's the same thing I was going to say as well. The same thing. You can have principles, but sometimes you need to know how to adjust and also play a different way. So I get it, and I wonder if managers are now in this situation where if they're saying if they're only going to play one way, they're not going to make adjustments. Is it going to be the same situation like Bielsa at Leeds, where or to an extent what who's gone to Bayern Munich? What's a company? Remember what he did at Burnley as well. I understand you got your principle. Mara's getting slap up left, right, and centre a couple of weeks, and he's still playing the same way. Sometimes you can have principles, but you need to go to your bed at night knowing that you're still going to have a good job in the morning.
He might be back soon, mate. I tell you,
it's a hard one.
Talking about Kwanzaa, voice of the game says that John Stones had something similar when he was young. Now look at Stones, one of the best centre backs in the world.
But Phil Jones played like that when he was at Blackburn, and then Man United coached out of him. I'm just putting it out there.
Stop it. My thing is this. All right, you can have that tactic and you say, that's how I want to play, whatever. But if in game and it's not working, you need to make changes.
That's correct.
You need to change it. And all right then, and not even just that, game management. So we're now 2-1 up. The other team's got the momentum. Let's manage the game and see it out. Let's be sensible.
Yeah, I just think it's just unnecessary.
It brings unnecessary pressure.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and I just think
what I'd say is nice though, when you have a manager and they're testing you completely different, because it's our manager tests us every single week. So knowing that he wants us now to play a completely different way of football than we did last season, boy, you just have to make sure that your head is just on it, and it is just. I love it anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
Let's talk about Tyler Morton.
I think it was class. Showed a lot of composure. I think going back to Kwanzaa, because of Kwanzaa's ball playing ability, because I'd say actually out of our 4 centre backs, in my opinion, although I think Kanate is competent on the ball, I think he's the weakest of the four personally. It's my own personal view. So I just think Gomez is very comfortable. So I just think that three of Kwanzaa, Gomez, and Morton, I thought it worked really well. He showed a lot of composure on the ball, angles. I was really happy with his performance, man.
Okay, young boy, did well there. Stoney.
But don't you see what the conversation is evolved into, though, Artie? Exactly what Dr. Blake and what Preds was actually saying about evolving and making tactical changes. We played a 4-4-2 against Brighton. And who did we play up front? Jones and Dominic.
Yeah.
You guys didn't watch the ride on that as well. So even in terms of making adjustments to how we play and keeping the opposition thinking, when we played against Arsenal, they almost played like a 4-4-2 against us as well. So now Arne Slot's coming, and I'm not saying this is based on the Arsenal game, mind you. We've played against this way, and now he's actually showed his tactical prowess as well here. And almost going back to what you guys were saying, a throwback where Spain used to play with no forwards, or Barcelona never used to play with no actual out-and-out forward. This is exactly what we ended up doing against Brighton. So your main thing was about Tyler Morton. I think he played well. I think it was good that he played with another experienced midfielder in Endo as well. Really happy for him. Morton ended up getting his assists as well. It's beautiful that he played on the same side as Gakpo, and he actually did not seem out of place. So in terms of development, as a team and as a squad, I thought it was really good considering that these guys collectively hadn't played together before. And as you said, we're playing Dominic and Jones up front as well. For me, that was another eye-opener in terms of how Slot's currently coaching our players and his coaching staff to have confidence in our players as well. So yeah, brilliant performance by Morton. And as you said, I'm just happy that he managed to get, I think it was probably about just over 60 minutes underneath his belt. So very happy.
A solid 60 minutes there, mate. I tell you, solid. Definitely happy with that. So the next question I'm going to ask is Gakpo more productive or more of a threat than Diaz?
Oof.
Look at Doctor's face.
Yeah,
all kind of.
It is.
I'll tell you what, Lee, you threw me there because I thought you was going to say something else, and I'm like, now you've kind of put a curveball in there, and it's ooh.
You was going to say Nunes, isn't it?
Huh?
You was going to say Nunes.
No, I thought you was going to say that is he more productive? Obviously, is he like on form and more productive coming in from the left? But then, obviously, he is. But then you've just changed up the whole game and chucked a curveball in there. So yeah. I've got to think about that one.
So I do think Cody's game in terms of end product is more consistent than Diaz. I think the peak of Diaz's game is different to Cody's, and I think Diaz can just cause absolute havoc and just dribble teams and just literally throw off your defensive shape. But I just think, the chances are Cody's going to create separation. He's either going to cross it, smash it, or play it through to his fullback. There's a lot more. I think he's easy to build team moves around. I think he's a lot more refined in his decision making still. And when he's lashing the ball like he was yesterday, but
Lucho, Lucho. His name is Lucho. His goal yesterday, when it a little bit Suarez-esque. Like the ball, the ball was up in the air in the box, and he got the ball on the floor, and he wiggled his way through, and then scored by cutting it back across the goalkeeper. Yeah, like that was Suarez. And I think Diaz is just. I really do like him because he's always on the front foot. He's always going forward. He's scoring a little bit few more goals now, and And he is actually, I think he's a threat. You know what? I'm going to sit on the fence here and say Gakpo and Diaz. I think they're equally effective and equally a threat.
I think they're just different, isn't it? What I would say, why I would
Ball
probably
first.
lean towards Cody right now is I think because of how Nunes plays, and he's a bit more. Yes, he's improved his decision making, but he's naturally a bit more of an unpredictable type of player. I almost feel like Cody's consistency balances well with what Darwin does. Whereas I guess Jota and Nunes can probably at times both be a little bit unpredictable in terms of just what they're going to do. Sorry, Diaz and Darwin. So I probably like to see Cody and Darwin playing and then Jota and Diaz playing. If I could like pick a pair for the centre and for the left.
He's got the best song though, Lucho. His name is Lucho. His name is Lucho. We got him photo. He comes to score, come to score, come to score, score, score. Luis Diaz. He's from Barracas, and he comes and he plays for Liverpool.
Look at that.
What a song, mate! What a song!
Brilliant.
He
Story.
did take his dad and kidnap though, but yeah.
Innit? That sounds like a Tottenham song, innit? So while I'm thinking, it does. So while I'm thinking, light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. Happy
Go on,
Diwali.
preach, preach.
So you know what? I think it's one of those things as well. I'm really happy for Cody as well. I mean, look, I think that we're probably blessed that we've got two left side. We've got.
I won't turn my fucking chair around. I tell ya.
I don't mind that.
Prince is out there auditioning for The Voice, isn't it?
You're still seeing the back of me, mate.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Go on, Brett.
Isn't
Sorry, as you were saying.
Isn't it good that we're in a good place where we've got two players that actually play in defined roles over on the left-hand side and still function well? I think against Brighton, Gakpo played over on the left and Luis Diaz played over on the right, a midfield as well. I think in terms of gameplay, in terms of tactical awareness, we're just blessed. I think they're both in or around the age of 25. You guys can quote me incorrectly. So they haven't really hit their prime. But you know what? What I like about Cody is when he's on the ball, I just feel like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the difference is. I think
He's not going to lose it trying to take on his man or
Yes.
taking the extra touch or
Thank you. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's what I'm saying.
Even those strikes against Brighton, they were different, but he hit them with purpose. And I just like that he's both of the strikes. It was
Hit
I
them
think
with
it was the second one.
vexation, bruv.
Yeah, there wasn't much backlash. But
Rush.
he plays with purpose. I don't know whether it's all of the gospel music that Brother's listening to at the moment, you know. But he just seems like peace. He just seems like peace.
This is what he was
man.
doing at PSV, though. That's what he was doing at PSV.
But you know what the good thing, Dr. Blake, was even if you think of it right, at PSV, even under Rude, he was playing more as a pivot. So he was playing more as the role of where Jota and what Darwin Nunes was playing. It's more essentially, but for us, he's more effective. Well, I'm not saying more effective. He's getting more gameplay over on the left. So in terms of him being able to adapt his gameplay, I think that only helps us and the Netherlands as well. But I'm just happy, Artie. I'm just happy that he just seems to be in a good place. And as he said, when he's got the ball, he's playing with purpose. And you know what I like? He's not afraid to beat a man. And that's the one thing I like as well. Wide players in those possessions, show your fullback no respect. The same way, like you were saying earlier about the way that my guy from Chelsea look on Andy Robinson like he was selling the big issue down on Oxford Street. That's the same way. That's the same way that Gakpo looks on fullbacks. Like no respect.
I'm so done.
Disrespect.
I'm
Can you imagine
so
Slot?
done.
Like
That's it.
can you imagine Slot in his team talk saying to Cody and Diaz, look at your fullback like how they look at robbers.
Yeah. No respect, man. So yeah, it's good, man.
Fitzwarren says they're both equally adept.
Agreed.
Do you play a front three of Diaz, Salah, and Gakpo? No, didn't work for me last night because I thought Diaz wasn't doing it until Gakpo went off and he went back over on the other side. Wasn't doing it for me on the right. Wasn't cutting it for me, mate. Gakpo definitely should start at the weekend. And goes on to say Gakpo playing in the best position. Who would have thought it? Oh, hello, Anthony Herbert, mate. How you doing? Clear up, guys. Was a good game last weekend. Yeah, that it was, mate. That it was. But yeah, I just see for some reason, I think there's more belief once Gakpo's got the ball on that side and what he's going to do. I don't know if you can have both of them in the same team at the same time.
I
For
don't
me,
see
it doesn't
it,
work. You've got to have one or the other, to be fair, because they're both best positions is on that left. For me, so
I think if you're going to cover for Mo and you want to rotate, then yeah, I think Diaz can do a job. It's not at the level that we would like, but I think he can fill the role. But ultimately, yeah, it's either or, man.
yeah, for real. So, okay, gentlemen. So we're through to the next round. We have Southampton. Are we saying, just briefly, a similar starting lineup to what we had yesterday?
For me, 100. And hopefully
Agreed.
Harvey and Jayden Danns is back. And then, yeah, the first teamers can get not say a complete rest, but you don't have to play a Dom or a Darwin or whatever. You can just play like the guys who aren't really kind of getting much minutes.
Okay. Right. VW says he's still not sold on Diaz.
I understand why.
And Preds, we play a similar team.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely got confidence in the kids.
Stoney.
I think it depends on availability. I think either side of that Southampton game, I think we've got Fulham at home before that game, and then we've got Tottenham afterwards. So I think it just depends on players' ability, players' form, and yeah, just play the best team, really. Whether that's the same team we put out against Brighton, we'll wait and see. I just want us to put out the most effective and productive team, just to make sure that we get a result. And that's going to be in December as well, before they all decide to go out and eat their Christmas turkey or their veg, if they're vegetarians.
So Anthony Herbert says, lads, I thought Arne Slot was going to struggle this season, but how wrong was I? Okay.
Don't worry, Anthony. I see you out there with
that.
your hater shades on, brother. And that's Anthony. I know you tuned in earlier, and that's what you're saying about you fluffy Arsenal fans. It's all about you guys this season, Anthony. And at some stage, we're actually going to get you on this show as well. You Arsenal supporters, you are like, oh my goodness gracious. I'm actually going to save it until you come on the show as well, Anthony, because I know you're a good guy. But I'm waiting for you to come on the show. Yeah.
So the changes that Chris Welsh would make would be Tsimikas in for Robbo and Gakpo in for Diaz.
Against Southampton, interesting.
No. I think that's more teams against Brighton.
Oh, for the next game, Brighton. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
So, but Brighton would be a different kettle of fish now because they'll have Welbeck who will be starting, and you saw the difference when he came on. He started to cause a few problems as well. So it'll be a different kettle of fish, mate. This the league game.
Do you know what?
Is it South Coast again? Is it?
And that's at Anfield.
Step up and do a job.
We need to win. Simple as, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have to.
But what I would say though is salute to all of the management, technical staff, the owner at Brighton, because what they've achieved in a short space of time is bloody incredible. And yes, we won the game, and at times we look quite comfortable. But if we kind of think that's their reserve team, like they've built a bloody good squad.
Oh yeah.
Like, they built a squad that I think can compete for top 6, maybe even push for top 4 at some point in this season, because the depth that they didn't have, I was looking at their players and you think they've got 2 quality players for all positions, other than just their centre backs I don't particularly like, but elsewhere, fullbacks, the wingers are ridiculous.
Yeah. They are.
But you know, it's quite interesting with that as
Forwards,
well. Doctor,
fielders.
it's good that you brought that up. Like, dear owner, is it Anthony Bloom? He's
Yeah.
actually a professional gambler, right? So
Oh, is he?
a lot of So a lot of his a lot of the purchases or a lot of his business attribute that he's actually put in to Brighton is a lot on data. So, you know, like when exactly what you were saying about the managers that they purchase, about the players that they purchase, he is heavily into data. And he's actually acquired a lot of companies to do with their data as well. A lot of which actually create Football Manager that you actually play as well.
Okay.
So a lot of it is data driven. So all of these players that we see Brighton actually purchasing are based on that as well. So as you were saying, man. Anthony Bloom, his foresight is just mad, right? Yeah, he's game and his head is in a completely different space.
I mean, even if you just look at their holding mids, right? Well, them two have basically signed in the last 3 to 4 seasons. Basuma, Caicedo, and now that bloody Mbaliba kid.
Yeah,
just like
hard.
Mac 10.
They had the other guy that had to retire with heart. Yeah, the guy that what was his name? The guy that had to stop playing football because of the heart issue.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Like he also played in the engine room as well. I can't remember what his name was, man. I can't remember. The similar profile to Caicedo, maybe slightly more offensive, but still like someone that you see as like a double pivot kind of midfield. But I just think, they're not missing, man. They're not missing.
Right,
they have some talent on the pitch on Wednesday.
Is top tier.
Yeah.
Mpenza.
That's the one, Chris. Yeah,
right.
You see?
Well done, Chris.
You see? They just have ballers.
Yeah, man, for real.
Consistently, guys. It's a good squad, man. It's a good squad.
Okay, so quickly before we go, gentlemen, results for Brighton.
Liverpool win 2-0.
2-0 for me as well.
2-0.
3-1 for Liverpool.
Okay, 2-1 from me for Liverpool. Next round of the Cup is Southampton.
Liverpool win.
Yeah.
What's the score?
3-1.
Liverpool win, and we're away from home, innit? So I go for 3-1 as well. Yeah.
Okay. See, that was 3-1 against Brighton. Demas says 2-2.
Sour Demas, man.
Anthony Herbert says 3-1. They were all loving you, Demas, before, but boy.
Man trying to put that bad man Arteta COVID on us, man.
Says 3-0. Chris says that's me not going out tomorrow. Me and Stoney agreeing. Yeah, stay home, bro. Stay home.
Chris is crazy.
Okay, and I know we're all disappointed and heartbroken, hurt.
Yeah.
Mentioning that, Ten Hag has had to walk. The moment of silence.
Had to walk. He didn't walk. He got sacked.
No, that's it. Can I just say something? If I get sacked from my job and they're giving me 13 mil, I'm a nice man,
14 million, for real.
Man gave his former club about £300 million.
So they gave him, first off, they gave him a new contract. Then they gave him a bag of money to spend on players. He spent a bag of money on players before that from his old team, and then they sacked him and had to pay out the rest of his contract. This club is being run absolutely shabbily.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that video? Sorry, before you go, have you seen that video on social media that's going around now? There's a caption, a video of a guy walking into the team dressing room, and they're all having a celebration, and the caption is Ten Hag going back to Ajax after getting 300 million.
Big money, bro. Big money he's giving them. Big money.
It's a harsh world out there.
It is.
Ridiculous.
He's the one who came out. He's like Kaiser Sose. He came in and he robbed Man United. You know why he robbed Man United? He went there and he did nothing. The man managed to scrape 2 cups and that's how he managed to get some extra game time. The man, oh wow.
Yeah, because
Do you know what?
I wonder if Mr. B still got his picture up him.
Hopefully he has.
He's done better than Arteta, though. I'll tell you that much. In a short space of time.
I know, but Artie, I'm so vexed that he got sacked. I'm heartbroken that they sacked him.
I wanted this guy to stay.
Yeah, I wanted him to stay or them to hire Southgate. And but
I wanted him to stay. From you know that a manager's playing a right back in a number 10. He just had to stay. He had to stay. You wouldn't even do that on Football Manager, though. Come on, Dr. Blake, man.
Well,
no, you wouldn't. Not.
Listen, like you could put a forward back in defense, depending what they used to do. I had to put that guy at right back because he had no techers back on pro days. But yeah, of course, I see the point. It's just weird, man. It's just weird with United. Just weird. You think to yourself, why did you give him that contract in the summer? Why?
This is what I don't get.
You
give
him
the lyrics.
A next bag of money. Then sack him.
He had the lyrics. He went in there and he said, "I won 2 trophies. That's more than Mourinho." Has he? Correct me on this, right? Because I don't know this. All right. Has he won the most trophies since Fergie? Then, as a Manchester United manager, he probably have.
Jose won the Europa League. Doing it? Did he win anything else?
No, I think he has. I think he's won. Yeah, he's won the most.
Is it?
We know one thing. We know one thing. He's the Man United manager who's spent the most.
Yeah,
for big money
since Fergie.
And I just think to myself, yes, beating City was very impressive, but the way they beat Coventry, if you're analysing this guy as manager, you're saying to yourself, remember Coventry scored to make it 4-3, right? And they gave a dodgy VAR decision and then overturned it. And I'm just like, oof. Coventry came up from 3 goals down, was it? Yeah. And they made it 4-3. Yeah. You're saying to yourself, bottom of your Champions League group, like you're finishing 8th, and you give this man a new contract. Then this season, he's now 14th in the league and 21st in the Europa League. How can you be 21st in the league? I'm saying to myself, you don't deserve this. Ineos, great start.
Long may it continue, mate. Long may it continue.
For real. Okay, so now we are definitely going to say good night. God bless. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Do remember to hit that like, that share, that subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's all about next week, Thursday. We will be back. Prince, welcome back, my son. Nice to have you back.
Great to be back, man. Great to be back, chaps. Great to be chaps. Great to be chaps. Great to be back. I'm so tired. I don't even know what I'm talking. Listen, we went into extra time today.
Come on here. Come on. First night back, giving problems already. You know what I mean? Bloody typical. Dr. Blake.
Great show, man. Great to have Preds back. It's been a good week for the club. Let's try and get Van Dijk's contract sorted out, man.
Brother Stoney.
Once again, we've been blessed. We've had a double game week. We've had Arsenal to speak about in Brighton. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we look forward to seeing everybody next week, Thursday at 10 p.m.